Greetings gamers, I'm freelance PC game journalist Jim Moreno, bringing you this preview of Legends of Eisenwald. The game is being developed by indie game developer Aterdux Entertainment, based out of Minsk, Belarus, and they are calling Legends of Eisenwald a Knight-Errant simulator, meaning it's a medieval themed RPG with turn-based combat. Legends of Eisenwald is currently available on Steam for early access, with an official release date scheduled for later this year. I will be previewing version 0.905 beta for this preview, and let's get into it with a new game. Now we have two legends to follow: the main campaign, Legends of Eisenwald, and something called Masquerade. We're going to be following the main campaign here, just enough to preview and get a feel for the game. So we have three heroes to choose from: Heinrich the Knight, Elisabeth the Baroness, and Balthassar the Mystic. Presumably easy mode here. I'm going to go with Heinrich the Knight and begin the legend. The road ahead is a fine change to the swamps you encountered. Bertolt shifts the weight of his sword and turns to you. Seedlet's castle. There'll be a warm welcome and mug of excellent beer there, I am sure. To direct your hero on the map, click where you want him to go with the left mouse button. Alright, so we start off here, paused on the main play map. So let's see, we can rotate all the way around, it seems. Game gives a good free view. And we have some tilt. And with the mouse wheel we have a zoom. Alright, so click where we want to go with the left mouse button. Berthold, your fidgeting is unnerving. This is clearly the right road. You said something similar in the swamps, and we spent hours there. Then if proof is what you require, perhaps my map will satisfy you in your incessant worry. We can always check it to see if we are on the right path. Alright, to open the map you press this button. The map window is combined with the quest journal. This will help you find where you need to go for any quests. We have the map on the left, quest journal on the right. Quests are sorted into several categories. Now you have only one active quest: get to Seedlet's castle. Press the quill button to show the quest text. Press the compass button to show map markers related to this quest. A mark has appeared on the map. Seedlet's castle is marked, and that's where your hero has to go. Your hero's position is indicated by the green arrow. You can toggle extra map markers on or off. Press this button to display quests, show buildings. Press this button to view your armies, show armies. Press this button to show the names of buildings and armies, show descriptions. Now you can clearly see all the buildings and armies in the region along with their names. And we have full view now. There's a middle button here, show coats of arms. Alright. See, so if you turn show buildings on or off, all that does is highlight. But it also takes some of the names off. Show descriptions just takes the names on or off. Alright, so we'll keep it there. Back to the main map. Good day to you, travelers. I come from Seedlet to escort you to the castle. I know these woods well. These lands are not foreign to me, friend. I know the way to Clausland's castle. Oh, I don't doubt you do, my lord, but there's been plenty of trouble in these woods. We ought to avoid the more notorious parts, if you take my meaning. Then we'd best be on our guard. Let's be ready in case we do run into trouble. Alright, press this button here to open the army window. Information about your army is on the left side of the screen. Information about a selected unit is on the right side. Above you can see your disposition. As you can see, you can have a maximum of 12 units. On top you can see the front line of your army, which is best suited for heavily armored infantry. That's up here. Below that is the second row, a good place for ranged fighters and pikemen, here. The third row is best for healers and other support units. Make sure that Berthold is in the first row and the hunter that joined your army is in the second row. Done. Place your hero into the row best suited for his or her class. To change the position of a unit, drag him from one hex to another. You can select your units by clicking them with the left mouse button, select Berthold, and click Continue. This area displays the characteristics of a selected unit. This is a health bar. When the health of a fighter falls to 0, he falls with a grave wound. This doesn't mean that he has died, but if you don't heal his wound by or during the next battle, he will suffer a serious penalty to his stats. If your fighter receives more than 3 wounds, he will die. Remember to heal your units. Good information. This is the attack value. The symbol in the cell shows what kind of weapon the selected unit has. Each weapon type has its own bonus. Berthold has a sword, and for each melee attack that targets him, he will retaliate with 30% of his attack. So not only do they get an attack, they get a retaliate as well. A character's defense is subtracted from an enemy's attack. Even if your defense is higher than the enemy's attack, the minimum damage is 5. The only exception is when a ranged unit shoots at a unit armed with a shield and his defense is higher or equal to the attack. In this case, the shielded unit will be completely protected. More good information. Initiative determines the order of turns. The higher the initiative, the sooner the fighter's turn will be to attack. This is the willpower value. The higher the willpower of your unit, the more spiritual power the enemy wizard needs to cast spells at him. However, your own wizard will need less spiritual power to cast beneficial spells on him. And any special characteristics of the selected unit are shown in this area. Okay, to recap, we have health. The amount of health determines how much damage a character can take in battle. We have attack and weapon. Attack determines the amount of damage a character inflicts in battles. Sword strike. A unit equipped with a sword counters each melee attack that targets it. The power of the strike is equal to 30% of the attack. We have initiative, which determines the order of the unit's turn in battle. Melee defense determines the amount of melee damage a character ignores. Ranged defense determines the amount of ranged damage a character ignores. Willpower determines by how much the cost of enemy spells is increased when targeting a character, and by how much the cost of friendly spells is decreased. And then special characteristics. Berthold has the noble characteristic. Characters with the mob bonus in hexes neighboring a noble receive a 10% bonus to attack and initiative. So back to the main map, carry on with our journey. Berthold's fingers linger over his sword. Welcome visitors to our fine forest and to its benevolent lord, Red Bestel. Now come along and we'll introduce you to the man himself. But if you don't choose to do so, things might not go well for you. Sounds like a warning. I suggest you move along. Bestel doesn't take kindly to rude guests. Combat we have entered. Okay, so that was good. Alright, so here we are on the combat screen. Okay, so with the right mouse button, can pan and zoom and spin and tilt the combat view, the main screen. Alright, so it looks like Bertolt has first attack over here from the initiative screen. Initiative list on the left side, along with special powers, I guess. Defense stance. This character can skip a turn to increase defense by 15 points until his next turn. Okay, and I cannot move to any other hex. It seems the only thing they want me to do is attack. So tactics and strategy right off the bat seem to be very limited, very restricted. Okay, so Bertolt's attack. Let's see, Bertolt, go over here. There's no flash, nothing fancy here. And this is my archer's turn to attack. Let's concentrate on the right flank. Next is Heinrich's. Okay, remember, every time Heinrich gets attacked, because he has a sword, he gets to retaliate. Same with Bertolt. So, yep, again, cannot move only to where they want me to move. That's very restrictive. All right, well, let's see if it opens up anything. Archer. Okay, we split their forces, which is good. Right, and now Heinrich's attack. Okay, Bertolt go after the archer. Heinrich's got this guy down here. Archer, you help take out... Oh, that was that. Ah, victory! Experience gained, the remaining enemies surrendered. Okay, so this is their experience gained, I believe, under there, and plus loot earned. Alright, this number indicates how many followers and mercenaries you have. These are the fighters that follow you for personal reasons or for daily pay. Most importantly, they do not require castle support. Now you have 2 followers in your army, Bertolt and the hunter who joined you. Signs on the upper part of their portraits indicate that they are followers. This is the amount of regular fighters who require castle support. Now you currently have only 1 fighter of this type, your hero. This is the maximum number of units your castles allow you to have. Since you don't have any castles yet, this amount is low, and you can have only 5 fighters. You can increase this to 12 by capturing castles. The more castles you have, the stronger your army will be. This is how many castles you have. At the moment you have none. It's possible that with many fighters you can conquer several castles, but occasionally, as happens during war, one of your castles will in turn be taken by an enemy. If this happens and you have too many soldiers, your castle support won't be enough for all of them, and you will be given a daily penalty of gold that depends on the strength of your army. Alright, more good information to know. So that's down here in the UI command bar, or the control bar. Okay, that's pause. This is game speed. This is current time and date. This is money. I have 0 per day being paid out, and everything else. Alright, go to Seedlet's Castle. This is where we are. This is where I need to go. Alright, so let's see. Yep, pathfinding. Going through the summer fair. Passing by Hawk Village. Here is Clauslin's castle. I swear I can even see him from here, waiting on the wall for guests. If you want to see who is in an army or in a garrison of a castle, click on it with the right mouse button. Alright, taking a look inside Seedlet's castle. Seems to be nearly full. No tooltips, and it seems like some descriptive text might be missing from up here. Baron Clauslin's Seedlets has not changed in many years. Perhaps a little gray has seeped into his hair and beard, but he retains the vigor and fierceness of the man you saw often in your father's company. Welcome, Sir Heinrich. It does my heart good to see you. If I am not mistaken, I do not seem to recall your friend being at our last meeting. Thank you for the welcome, Baron Seedlets. It's a pleasure to see you once again. Let me introduce you to Berthold, a loyal friend and comrade. He has saved me from the jaws of death more than a few times. You have a firm grip, Sir Berthold. It is a fine thing that brings both of you here. Please treat my home as your own. I hope there was no trouble on the way. We did encounter a little problem along the road. Bandits under the orders of a man called Red Vestal. Troubling news indeed, but now both of you should rest and regain your strength. Return to me when you are able, and we will discuss this further. Your father often said that the church is not only a place of the soul, but also of the body. Your wounds will be tended there. Alright, we zoom into Seedlet's castle. For some reason, I'm not sure why. Right, but I can see that everyone has sustained some small type of injury. So with the Q, I need to get to a church. As you can see, we have a new quest. Visit your quest journal frequently. This way you will know what you are up to and what to do next. So next we need to heal wounds. We need to go to St. Helena's Church and heal all the troops in the army, then return back to Seedlet's castle. Right, so St. Helena's Church, ever how it's pronounced. Let's see, there is no movement from the quest map. Only on the main map. Be well, Your Grace. Well, that was a nice touch, although it did stop my pathfinding. We are in a church. There is always someone here who can wash and treat our wounds. Zoomed into the church. Okay, select any of your wounded fighters and click continue. Select heal, treatment healed hunter, cost of 10 gold. Sometimes it's more convenient to heal everyone at once. Select this option, treatment heal all, cost of 31 gold. Alright, and everyone has been healed. Excellent. And we go back to Seedlet's castle. I've been giving some thought to your situation, and it seems that perhaps you might be able to teach Red Vestal a lesson. Therefore, you can repay the wrong that was done to you while helping me. Baron Clauslin, if I can help in any way, I would be more than happy to do so. Glad to hear it. I'm sure you can teach him a lesson that I could never do because of my old age. But first, you need to gather a party to assist you. To start, hire a soldier. You can do it right here in my castle. I'm sure there are some able-bodied fighters looking for adventure. Alright, zoomed into Clauslin's castle again. In the center of the screen, you can see all the fighters available for hire in this castle. In Seedlet's castle, only one type of fighter is available. You can look at his information by clicking on it with the right mouse button. Under the picture of the unit, the price of hiring him is provided, along with the amount of units available for hire. So he will cost 40 gold, and there's only one of him available for hire. In Seedlet's castle, only one soldier is available. Once you hire him, there will be no soldiers left for hire. Alright, so continue. Hire this soldier. Okay, there seems to be a glitch in the Legends of Eisenwald matrix here. It's not allowing me to hire him. Let's see. Let's try this. Okay, please note that the quantity of regular fighters has increased to 2. Okay, now I can hire him. And now the quantity of fighters has increased to 2. Excellent. Okay, and he goes on the top row, front line. Wonderful, but infantry and archers are not enough for battle. First of all, you will need a healer, which you will find in the forest village. Secondly, a priest would not be such a bad idea. Don't be surprised, sometimes sincere prayer does more than sharp steel. Try St. Elena's church for such a man. Also, my young friends, I can see that you are not equipped for a fight. You can get something better at the summer fair. Okay, so now we have a number of quests. Buy a sword, go to the summer fair and buy a damask sword. Hire a priest, hire an acolyte at the St. Elena's church. Hire a healer in the forest village. Then, find and give Red Bestel a lesson. Okay, so our path goes to Summer Fair, St. Elena's Church, and then the forest village. Let's make our way down here. Summer Fair is our first stop. Okay, let's see, right mouse button. Every year on this lawn, the summer fair takes place. Many people come here to trade and to gossip, usually more of the latter. And let's see, in this building you can trade, okay? So the summer fair is the trading post. Yeah, here you can see the goods available for purchase in this building. All goods are split into categories: weapons, armor, amulets, potions, goods, and war horses, listed across the top. Each weapon has its characteristics and price. Buy a weapon that corresponds to the class of your hero and press continue. Alright, I'm to buy a damask sword. Looks like +4 to initiative and +3 to attack. Cost is 105 gold. Bought and press continue. Good, but they're not worth anything if they just gather dust in our baggage. Let's put them on. Open the army window. Alright, this is taking us back to our unit screen. In the bottom left, you can see the inventory of your army. All items there are split into categories, the same categories that are in the marketplace. That's good. In the bottom right, you can see the equipment of the selected character. At the moment, this is your hero. In the middle are sales for weapons, helmets, and armor. On the top are sales for amulets, and the bottom sales are for potions. Okay, so top sales are for amulets, middle sales weapons, helmets, and armor. Bottom sales are for potions, and they even have little diagrams in the box that help you identify. Each character has his personal weapons and armor. These items are displayed in small cells. You can't take them away, but you can put them into the bigger cell next to it, and then you can place the new item into the free cell. The character will then use the item you gave him and not his personal ones. Often, personal items are neither expensive nor of good quality. These symbols show what types of weapons can be handled by a selected unit and what type of armor he can use. For example, a knight can use almost all melee weapons and can wear heavy armor, but he cannot use bows or crossbows. A baroness can only use shooting weapons and wears medium armor. A mystic uses rods, staves, and spellbooks. Now equip your hero with the weapon you bought from the fair. Drag it from your inventory into the hero's corresponding equipment slot. Then click continue. Okay, so I need to put this, or maybe this goes here. Yes, his weapon did change. Okay, now when your hero is equipped new weapons, the hero's characteristics have changed. They increase by the difference between the characteristics of the bought and the previous weapons. Okay, for example, if you bought a sword with a +3 attack and his personal one provided +1, then his attack is increased by +2. This principle is valid for any kind of weapon. Alright, so you see how that works. Alright, so he has a new sword equipped. Next is the church. And we need to hire us an acolyte. There is the acolyte stats. He's a preacher. The will of most soldiers and nobles in armies with such a character is increased by 2, but the will of characters with the impious characteristic is lowered by 2. Right, he is hired. He goes in the bottom row. When you face the enemy, I will pray for you. My prayers may defend us better than any shield. And then the forest village. Last stop. And here is our peasant woman. She has meditation, garments, and restoration. She is hired. Your Grace, if any of your people is wounded, I will help right away. I will apply a bandage or read an incantation, and my incantations are better than any medicine. Well, we have what we need to take on the red dog named Bestel. Perhaps, but we need to find him first. We should inquire of Seedlet to see what he knows. Come now, my friend, there are many ways to gain information, one of which is enjoying a beer at the local tavern and seeing what we can hear from the talkative locals. That is a sound plan, especially if there is drinking involved. Yes, I like where this game is going already. That probably sold me right there. A good beer and a good game, always an excellent match. Okay, so the Cow and Spoon, I believe is where we're headed. Find out in a tavern where Bestel is hiding. The place is crowded and rowdy occupants stagger here and there. Look, there's a quiet spot where we can sit and observe. Bartender, 2 beers. All right, we zoom into the inn for the Encounters and Rumor tutorial. Listen to what people talk about in a tavern. For this, press the small button with an arrow under the text. Okay, you sit. A small arrow under the text here. Okay, this is rumors. You sit, a mug of beer in your hand, paying heed to the rumors, even through the boisterous laughter and overwhelming din of conversation. Okay, select the rumor that interests you and press OK. Right now, to expedite the method, I already know which rumor needs to be listened to, so I'm going to go ahead and select it. Did you hear? In the forest on the west, people saw Filrus. Who? Filrus. How could you not have heard of him? He is an animal, huge and eats like a pack of wolves. His body is like a bear, paws like a dog, and head like a cat, but much, much bigger. And who was so drunk to see this monster, I wonder? He's real for sure, I know it. Marty told me. Bestel's men come often to her. Everyone knows that. They told her lately that Filrus recently swallowed 4 of them. But they're no cowards and have no plans to leave that forest. Quietly. Well, it seems we now know where Bestel's gang resides. Bertolt, surely you don't fear this Filrus? Unlikely. However, I think I know who this Filrus is. Okay, if you don't find the information that you want, continue listening to conversations. If you already found out what you wanted, you can continue on your adventure or stay longer in the tavern. Alright, we have already found out the information that we want. However, there is a rogue with a story. We have ears. And you must also have some coin on you, yes? Yes, as I said, Red Bestel and his men buried some treasure in a hideout. I can tell you where, if you will give me 50 guilders. You slide coins over to him, he grasps it, and you slam your fist down on his hand. His face contorts in pain. I'm no fool. Oh, I would never. You will find the treasure in the ruins of the watchtower on the north bank. Why didn't you get it yourself? You think I want to take on Red Bestel? You two probably can, but not I. Alright, so we have the information that we required, plus additional. Please select the Entries tab. Okay, there is no Entries tab, it's pointing at the Additional tab. So there's a slight error in this beta version. Okay, additional. Entries cover all kinds of information that your hero learns in journeys. These are not quests, but could be helpful for some quests. If you don't know how to complete a certain quest, take a look at your entries. Sometimes they contain a few hints. Alright, so we have some useful rumors and our main quests. Alright, we learned that Red Bestel hid treasure in the ruins of a watchtower on the north bank. Alright, but we're going to keep our focus here on giving Red Bestel a lesson. We've learned that Red Bestel's gang is hiding in the forest on the west. Go there and find him. Ah, right there, Red Bestel's gang. Alright, so now we know where we go. West of the forest village. So back down south. Alright, so you can spin the map around here. And oh, there he is right there. Looks like a person sitting, yep. Okay, so that's easy. Can we pathfind our way there? Yes, excellent. That looks like his hideout, but he seems to not be in his hideout. No worries, we're going right to him. Well, you finally accepted my invitation. Defeating a few men must seem like such a victory to you, but you were a fool to come here. You were the fool to threaten me. So you say, but I never threatened you. I merely requested your company, and you answered my summons with blood. But the time for words has passed. I feel combat coming on. Let's see what the battlefield looks like this time. Oh, they get first attack. Alright, and he has pretty much the same complement of arms as I do. Alright, so let's spin the map around here. Alright, map's a little dull color-wise, but environment-wise it looks nice. Okay, so let's, oops, let me tilt up here, get a proper good view so that I can see all of my side. Alright, so signifier first up is my priest. Okay, he has meditation, shield of faith, and blessing available. Okay, let's see. Shield of faith increases a friendly unit's willpower by 6 and adds his total willpower to his melee defense. Lasts for 2 turns, cost of 15 mana. Blessing increases a friendly unit's willpower by 6 and adds his total willpower to his melee damage. The additional damage is magical. This effect lasts for 3 turns and costs of 18 mana. Alright, so let's see. I want to select, let's see, who's next? Heinrich is next up in the initiative order, so let's cast on Heinrich. Heinrich's attack. Again, very limited. No additional movement. I can't work any tactics as far as flanking goes. It seems that the game is designed nothing but for attack. So that's, like I said earlier, very restrictive. Very non-tactical to begin with. And Bertolt, I'm going to focus on the center. This is about as tactical as it gets. Alright, and you can see my archer. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take out their middle. Alright, then I have my man-at-arms. Focus on the left flank. Alright, their healer casts a spell. My healer gets to cast. Let's see who's hurt. Bertolt is injured. Yep, restoration restores 20 health to a friendly character and the same amount in the next turn of this character. That's nice. Mana cost is 15. Alright, so that's a retaliation. Okay, my priest. Let's see, cast blessing last time. Let's see, let's do shield of faith this time. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go. Well, see, again, tactics are restricted here. because I would go over this way, but it's not allowing me to do that. Alright, and my archer should not completely taken out, but does more damage. Bertolt over here by himself. This should drop him. Yes, good. Okay, healer. Let's see. Oh, that's right. He was healed last time. Bertolt was healed last time, so he automatically gets another 20. And my priest cannot do anything. Priest needs to meditate this turn. Right, and let's see, Heinrich, and now it seems I can move. So we will focus on the archer. Okay, and I cannot move my archer to a closer, more advantageous position either. Again, very non-strategic. Bertolt will do his attack. Okay, my man-at-arms. Let's see. Let's focus you on the healer. Okay, my healer still needs to meditate. Alright, my priest is good. Priest is going to Shield of Faith on Bertolt. Let's see, let's take out the center. Okay, my archer, again, focus on the center here. Center down, Bertolt. The guy has a shield, so he's a little bit harder to hit. See, I cannot shift. It only has me attacking the characters that they want me to attack, the enemy. Victory experience gained, the remaining enemies surrendered, okay? And I garnered some more loot from that combat. Alright, so Bertolt has a knife to Bestel's throat. Perhaps my comments were made in haste? Unfortunately, I don't have much time for that. Wait, please, I had been asked to kill you on the road or take you hostage if you came without a fight. He's probably lying, but let's hear him out and then decide what we want to believe. Your friend is quite wise. I was under orders by the Lord of Kustenkaus, a neighbor to your friend Baron Seedlet. We'll take this to Seedlet and see what he thinks of the allegation. Please, they say if you are a nobleman, will you allow me to live? Honor does not mean that justice should be abandoned. Alright, so Red Bestel has been defeated, and we found out some more information that we need to take back to Baron Seedlet about other dangers here next to him. But with that, let's do the synopsis here of the for the preview. Okay, we found out that story text here in the style of classic medieval tales. No voice. Notice there's no voice acting, only text. Some voice acting probably would have been nicer, but this is an indie game, so okay, that's understandable. The text relates the story and along with dashes of humor, while it also gives clues and cues about the gameplay, at least here in the initial stages during the tutorial. Combat and graphics are very realistic. They look rather nice. I don't see any weather effects in play here, but it is paused. Let's see, we can unpause it. And we can watch the time and day progress and see if there are any other weather effects that do happen. But on the combat screens, the graphics were very nice. A little bit dull, but sharp and crisp. Realistic looking, at least. But combat is, again, very basic, very restrictive. You can't move your units into flanking or better attacking positions. There's no fancy combat animations, including from the spells. You saw the magic being cast. It was just a point-and-click combat. Very little strategy or tactics seemed to be involved. Again, at least in these early stages. Perhaps the game does open up later in the as the main campaign advances, and you get to own, capture and own more castles, thereby increasing the size of your army. But other than that, that's just just wanted to give you a good preview, good solid preview of Legends of Eisenwald. Not showing everything here in the game, and again, not giving it a review. But Legends of Eisenwald again is available for early access on beta on Steam. So you can go to their website, or you can go look for it on Steam and find out there to get all the information that you need and to purchase it on the early access. So that is the preview for Legends of Eisenwald. Hope you enjoyed it. Expect to see more along in this route, more video previews like this in the near future, especially here on Armchair General. Hope you enjoyed that. Gamers, game on.